And now, more with Social Women with your hosts, Pat Cruz, Amy Diaz, and Bronwyn Dannenfelser.
We're starting off our second hour today with author of Keeping It Simple, Jayne DeRouin.
Hello.
Welcome, Jayne.
Hello.
Hi, Jayne.
Hi, Amy. Hi, Bronwyn. Thank you for having me.
Well, we're excited that you're here, especially now. I'm a little stressed, by the way, because it does happen to be Tuesday, and Thanksgiving is Thursday, and I haven't even gone food shopping yet. So, anyway, which is why you're here. So, your philosophy, tell me, you have a book out, Keeping It Simple, which I love.
Thank you.
And I know you've been speaking everywhere and doing book signings, which I think is fabulous.
Thank you.
Actually spoke for me at the Women's Expo. And it
That
was
was
a very,
amazing.
very popular segment there. So tell me a little bit about the philosophy of keeping it simple.
Well, my whole life I've always tried to find ways to overcome adversity and to get through the pains and struggles of life as best we can with a positive attitude and, with just a mindset that tells you that you can just do anything. And so it's just really a lifestyle for me. And I took my journals that I used to get through those times to kind of help release those emotions that we can have that can kind of create a roadblock or a barrier to prevent us from getting through those times with a little bit more grace and ease. And so I just took everything that I had compiled over the years and put them in a book and hoped that if they were philosophies and tips and things that I did in my life to help me, then I could help guide someone through their own journey and help them make their road of life a little bit easier to travel.
Good. That's excellent. So the book came out from your experiences.
Yes. It's been a year now that it's been out, so that's amazing to
And
think that
it's still very popular. So you're still speaking
I'm
everywhere,
just-
which doesn't happen all the time.
I'm just so humbled by that. It's really surreal and kind of like having an out-of-body experience.
Did something happen? I'm picking this up. Did something happen? Like were there some bad experiences that you needed to push through?
Yeah, from childhood throughout my teenage years, I faced quite a bit of adversity that I used my journaling as a way to help me release and have an outlet to, express myself and to kind of find the guidance and the wisdom that I knew was there, that I was seeking outside, but it's always we always have it inside ourselves. That's the thing.
I have to say, not to get off topic.
I know.
However,
I have a tendency
who
to do
journals? Do you journal, Bronwyn?
No, I'm supposed to, but I don't.
No. Amy, do you journal?
I've never kept a diary or a journal in my entire life.
Okay, I have never journaled, and only recently, over the last year and a half to 2 years, did I start. Really, what an amazing thing. It's it's like a brain dump on paper. So you everything that you're feeling, everything that you're doing to put it down, it really does help quite a bit. And I can see how later going back, you can see how to simplify things because you really see what you're doing and how you're feeling at the time, and then go back and experience the same things, and you can do it knowing how you handled it the last time. So it really does help.
You know what, Pat? It's interesting because I've never journaled, but I feel like that's what I do on my Facebook account. As I post pictures, people always ask, oh, where do you find them? Why is it that you post these quotes or messages or inspirational images? And I guess it's my way of journaling because whatever it is that I'm feeling, I wake up or throughout the day, I usually Google what I feel. And then somehow, some way, whatever it is that I'm feeling, it's just someone else has perfectly put in words or in a sentence or in an image, and that's how I share my experiences or my feelings. And like Pat said, it's a way to release those emotions and just put it down on black and white. And it's great for me. It's great to do it via social media because I'm able to share that with other people, and they're like, "Oh, I was feeling the same way," and it makes me feel that I'm not the only one going through those experiences. So in a way, what you've done with your book is just that.
Exactly, and I provide in the book journaling pages, and for those who come to events, I even give them a pen, so there's no excuse. They'll have everything they need to start on their journaling, because there are many ways that you can work through. I mean, even at this time of the holidays season, that it's really a time when we can lose sight of our simplification, if you will, and lose sight of what, the basic things are that we need to do. And we get, invitations, and we have to decorate and cook and clean and all those things. And those things are important. They're not going to go away. But how do we deal with those things? How do we still make time for what's really important and manage all of those things at the same time? And like Pat said, when you journal, at least for me, it brings us to that clarity. You can start here and, I hate this, and before you know it, you're here, and you're speaking from your heart, and you're hearing the wisdom, you're hearing the words, you're hearing the guidance that you were looking for. And it is amazing to go back and find answers to questions that you've been seeking when, you thought, you'd given up or...
It is, and I've gone through the book, and that's probably the one thing that stuck with me the most about how that piece was very important. I mean, among all of the other things that you have in there, which is quite a bit, and there's a lot of great information, but that one piece, I never realized how it did help me simplify after the fact. I was journaling, I was writing down different things and trying to get, feelings out or things that I needed to do. And I didn't realize until after I read the book and reviewed different things in the book that was helping me simplify things in advance for the next time I went through the same experience, which was very interesting.
There's a saying that I'm sure you've heard when you learn. Oh gosh, here I go. Now I'm on. Like everyone's going to see me, and here I am spacing out.
We do that all the time.
When you learn better, you do better, or when you learn more, you do something like that. My husband's listening; he's just going to laugh at me right now. When whatever the saying is. But anyway, when you learn better, or you do better, and so you make different choices. And so if you have the tools to make better choices, then you will make better choices. And by making those better choices, change someone, and the benefit of seeing the joy in their face is something you can't put a price tag on. But I think sometimes we think, that one more thing. If I got to go find that one more thing. Or I really think if my mom had this, and we scurry around thinking we've got to just make our list longer and longer. So don't get. I guess what I mean by stay home is don't let those circulars and all of those things, those enticements, lure you to think that you haven't done enough already, because you have.
Okay, that is probably my worst thing. Running out again, and if I just had that one more little piece for someone, so that's a tremendous thing. I need to stick to that one.
Why not make it instead of going and find mom that purse or handbag or that sweater, just put a little note. Mom, the day of your choosing, at a time that works for both of us, I'm going to take you to the restaurant of your choice for a nice lunch or dinner. I mean, those things I think would touch someone's heart more than that red sweater that next year might have a hole in it and she'll have to throw away anyway.
And in addition, you can also spend quality time with the people you love.
Absolutely.
So it really comes down to it not being about material.
That's
it's
exactly
about the time that you spend with your loved ones.
Right, and that's why I say don't overcommit. We want to get to as many school plays for all our nieces and nephews and godchildren as we can, and they're going to be the ones that you'll definitely want to attend. But to put the pressure on yourself to think that you need to attend all of them or do everything, it's okay to say no, especially women like yourself who over the years have said yes many times. I think you've built up your goodwill bank to say no. But again, discreetly and at the times that where you can say no, I think it's important to do that and not think you need to fill your calendar with so many things so that you can sit at home with your children or with just yourself and have that hot apple cider and enjoy it yourself, not just always giving it to others.
I don't know. I get afraid though of insulting somebody by saying no, I'm sorry, I can't make it there, and so maybe that's why I need to journal so I can actually take a look at what my priorities are.
You can peel that onion away that tells you that that's wrong.
Do you think it's okay to say, listen, I'm trying to keep my life a little bit simpler so that I can, spend some more time with you or just, really get myself healthy? Is that okay to say to somebody, though? That's why I can't make your event? Or
say, thank you for thinking of me. I appreciate the invitation. Maybe next time.
I'll try that.
As social women, it's going to be very hard for us to do.
Well, of course, you're invited, and invitations are extended to you all the time from clients and business partners and staff and family. So yes, it can be very overwhelming to and a daunting task to try to meander through it all and say yes to all of them. And I'm not saying say no to all of them either. It's not that extreme. It's just finding the balance between the two. Picking the ones that really are the ones that you need to say yes to. Certain one you're not going to say. If Anthony invites you, you can't say no.
I'll tell you, I have a hard time now without it being the holidays. Without now. So yeah, it's going to get a little crazy in the next month or so. Anyway, okay, let's see. What else do you have for us?
And then giving. I really think that, back to Amy's point about making it personal and spending time with, quality time with those you love. I think there's no better way to do that than through some kind of, charitable act that you can do as a family or even just individually. There are those less fortunate than us, even those times could be tough personally for ourselves, and we're trying to make our way ourselves financially and emotionally in the world. But if we take a place, if we allow ourselves to count our blessings, then we will find so many ways to be grateful and recognize that we have a lot and others don't necessarily have the same abundance that we do. So when it comes to the, back to when I say less is more, even with decorating or other things, scale back and look at what the stuff that you have that, might not just speak to you the way it did 10 years ago, and donate it. There are families now that are struggling just to make ends meet. I'm sure they would love those extra wreaths or the garland or the lights or some ornaments or an extra tree or something that no longer serves you or no longer speaks to you, but would be so welcomed by a family that doesn't have the money to decorate or to put up lights or to,
It's a great
celebrate
idea.
the holidays.
And Jane,
that way.
I understand that there are programs out there where you can adopt a family, and whether it's you give them food or whatever it may be, but you can actually adopt a family during the holidays.
A couple that I know from personal experience through Macaulay House is one program that I've actually used myself. Even your own churches, synagogues. I know my church puts up trees every year, and even at just your children's school, if you're a parent and you have small children, you can even through their programs of giving trees and holiday programs, CCAP. There's so many ways that you can find those who are in need this time of year.
That's excellent.
So,
Okay, so it's Tuesday. I'm cooking Thursday.
yeah.
Tell me, how can I help? How can I help myself get through this? Because I haven't even gone food shopping yet. So
Okay.
there
Well,
we go.
first, there's no way around it. You need the food, so
Yes.
you have to go to the market and get it. But I guess I could be Sandra Lee, semi-homemade, from the Food Network, because I'm all for, having it homemade, but taking the shortcuts. So, just gravy in a jar is okay.
I can do that.
A Pillsbury pie crust is okay. I use Pillsbury, but don't tell my father-in-law. Instead of cooking a huge turkey, try a smaller one, and then or make a turkey pot pie, something that's quick and easier that still
I
has
love
all.
these. I don't mean to interrupt,
Okay.
but we've just got to turn something over to Amy Diaz
No,
very
no, no,
quickly.
no, no,
Oh,
no,
oh,
no,
no.
Finish your thought, and we were just gonna say thank you to you. That's all.
So there's a lot of ways just by, instead of 15 side dishes, maybe just pick 3 that, that everyone likes. And just because, Uncle Harry likes, figs or chestnuts or whatever, doesn't mean just for him you just say, this is what we're having this year. 3 is just as good as 15. And it's less food in the refrigerator for 5 days that we don't eat, because how can you eat as many leftovers that
Oh,
are
you'd be
created by-
surprised at my house. I have
So-
kids at my house, and you'd be surprised. By the end of the day, the refrigerator will be empty, I'm sure. Well, anyway, okay, so we've got scheduling down. We've got do more personal things for the family, some holiday shopping ideas, which were excellent, and cooking. stuff.
stalking,
So
Yeah. And
So, Jayne, where can people find your book, or how can they get in touch with you before we say goodbye?
at my website, JayneDeRouin.com. That's JayneDeRouin.com. The book is available there, and those are author signed, also through Amazon and BarnesandNoble.com. And I have a Keeping It Simple Facebook page where you can follow me, like me, share me, do whatever.
we already love you.
Yeah, whatever you do with all that, suggest me. I don't know, whatever all those things are. So
give us a a final tip on how we can make things simpler for ourselves and less stress for the holiday.
breathe, take deep breaths, tell yourself it's okay, you'll get through it. And again, I think we said this in the first segment, just stay true to you. Do those things that really speak to your heart, to what feels right, and just find that time for yourself, even if it's just 5 minutes at the end of the day, and thank yourself for what you've done, because you've done a lot.